Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, we're going to kick off our little mini project series from PAPERCRAFT Society Box 57. And today I'm going to be making, well, I'm going to call it a mini sketchbook, but you can use a notebook, you can use it as a doodling book, you can use it even as a journal if you wish. So to make it fair and accessible to everybody, I'm not going to put this together the way the box tells you to. In the box you get a little booklet, but I'm not going to put it together using the mechanisms because I appreciate that not everybody's got this box. So we're going to use items from the box, but this is a project that you can do with whatever you've got in your stash, just to make it fair and make it accessible to everybody. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to slide the box out of the way and we are going to start off. Now, what I did, I took a piece of the card out of the pack. This is an A5 card and this is A5 card and I folded it in half. And that's all I've done. This is going to be the cover. And if you're wondering what that is, when I die cut it, there was something else on there that I hadn't noticed and it had left a mark and it had torn the card. So all I did was I put a colour on it. It's not the same colour as the card, but it's only for me, so I'm going to live with it. So I've used this little die which came in the kit, and if you lay that face down and put your card flat, run it through your machine, you will cut these little slots. Now hold on to that because we're going to use that for we're going to use that die again for a different project next time. So the next thing we're going to do is we're not going to line the front, but we are going to line the back. We're not going to line the front because you'd cover this bit up. So I was going to put a lining on it, but I am just going to line the back. So something a little bit different. But before we do that, what I've also cut from the pack, I've cut this little strip, this banner strip, and I'm just going to line that up. And so it needs to go about there. So I'm just going to grab some runner tape. You can use glue if you want to, but I'm using runner tape because I want the instant stick. So I'm just going to line that up and stick it there, like that. And as I say, I am going to line this. I'm only going to line that to cover that up. So again, I'm going to use my runner tape because I want it to stick. So I've cut, well, this is actually one of the pages, what would be one of the pages, but you can use an ordinary rectangle die if you want to, that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to run some adhesive. In this case I'm going to use runner tape, again just to make it go quicker. I have got some tacky glue now, by the way. I finally managed to get some when I went shopping the other day. So I'll just stick that along there, and I'm going to stick that just so that it covers that little bit there. Just to cover that up. So it's not even and you have got a bit of a gap there, but it doesn't really matter. I did cut another one to go that side, not realising of course I'm going to cover my hole, so we're not going to use it. So we're not on this project anyway. I'm going to save it to one side and we'll use it on another project perhaps. So we obviously need our pages, and so for our pages I've actually used some cartridge paper. And this is just one sheet of A4 cartridge paper. I cut it in half along the width and then I just folded each half in half again. And I'm going to tuck one inside the other like that. You can use as many as you like, but I'm only using a couple because I only want a couple of little bits for this. It doesn't really matter which way you put it in. Sometimes one way seems to go better. I have no idea why. It's just the way it goes. So I'm going to do that. And to bind this, to make it accessible to everybody, I'm going to lay that down there like that. And I'm going to use a stapler. Now I'm going to use my long reach stapler for this, just to make life a bit easier. I did try with my standard stapler, but it actually didn't fit. Not quite. I could have wiggled it, but as I've got one, I'm going to use my long reach stapler. So if you've got a long reach stapler, by all means use it, but if not, a good size standard stapler will probably do you. So I'll do 3, I think, 1 there, one. So just line it up along the fold and then do that. So that way, anybody who's watching this will probably have a stapler of some description, and you'll be able to follow this project quite easily. Now, if you have got some overhang, which I have, you don't have to worry about it. Just you can use your trimmer if you want to. I haven't got my trimmer out, so I'm going to use scissors. Just trim along the overhang. We don't worry about things like that, especially if we're only making it for ourselves. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. So the other thing I was going to say you need to do, you don't need to do it, but the other thing I'm going to do, obviously if you do it this way, you're going to end up with staples showing. So what we do with that, again, I use some of the card within the pack, and I've taken some of the grey card and I've just cut a piece. The width is the same length. The width of this is the same length as our spine, and I've just cut it 2 inches wide, and I've put some double-sided tape on it. So I'm just going to take the backing tape off, and all we're going to do is we're going to line it up like that, put it against the fold, wrap it round there like that, and there you go. Not only have you got a nice little spine, you've also covered up those ugly staples. So, well, they're not that ugly, but I know you can see them on the inside, but that doesn't really matter too much. So, and then what happens, if you want, the reason we do it like that is then you can just slide that through there and you can close your little journal, or you can close your little book. So we're going to keep that. Actually, that comes in quite handy. If you wanted to put a flower over there to cover that bit up, you can. I'm quite happy to leave that open. I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the only other thing we're going to do is, I love this beautiful background, but I still think we need a topper. So I'm going to use the butterfly die that came in the set. So again, you use whatever you've got. I've cut this set came with an outline and a filigree set. So I've cut the outline die twice. And I've cut it twice in the lovely teal. And I've cut it twice in the teal. And the filigree bit, the intricate bit, I've cut in grey, and I've just glued that there. I did this last night because I wanted the glue to dry. So what I'm going to do with that is, again, I've got double-sided tape on the back. So I'm just going to take that off like that. And this is going to sit flat. So it goes over the spine a little bit. That's absolutely fine. That's good. If you end up doing what I did, you can try and cover that up a bit if you want to. But as I say, I'm going to live with it because I'm not bothered by it. So, and I'm just going to use mine to sketch ideas. And on the back, I'm going to put some runner tape. Because what we're going to do with this one, we're going to put some runner tape on it. And what we're going to do, before we put it down, I'm going to bend the wings up so that the butterfly looks like it's flying. So we're going to lay that down, line it up over the other piece, and give it a bit of a press. So you can use glue if you want to. I just use tape because it's on my table. I was going to use tacky glue now that I've got some, but out of habit, I suppose, I put the runner tape on my table. So that's what I'm using, and it's still stuck really good. So that lifts up. If you wanted to put that one on the base, you could do, but I didn't. So there we go, guys, that's it. So that was, I finished that before I'd realised, actually. Wow. So there we go. There is our little mini booklet. So we've got a little closure here. So we can undo that, open up our book. We can draw in it, we can doodle in it, we can use it as a notebook. You can use these little books for whatever you want them for. And they make fantastic gifts as well. So if you know someone who likes writing notes or likes to jot things down, if they've got a memory that's as terrible as mine, they might they might like some notebooks to jot things down, or just doodling. Some people, my mum used to doodle when she was on the telephone. So obviously she doesn't now because she's no longer with us, but she used to doodle when she was on the telephone. Didn't look like much, but so maybe we could make a doodle book for when we're on the telephone, if people still use the telephone with all this texting and emailing. I know I still do. So there you go. There is our project for today. I know I didn't put that in properly, but it's still closed, so there you go. So there is our project for today, a little mini booklet, a little mini notebook, journaling book, doodling book, sketchbook, whatever you like to call it, with that beautiful butterfly on the front. And when we come back the next time, I'm going to be using this slot die and this banner die again, but we're not going to be using it on a project. Well, we are going to use it on a project. We're not going to be using it in a booklet or a journal. We're going to be using it on a greeting card. So come back and find out what I get up to next time. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. If you are a subscriber to this channel, thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this project and you're not a subscriber yet, please do hit that subscription button and click the notification bell. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And I will see you next time for another video. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.